Social media, we all love it. We doom scroll for hours and hours and many more hours. Yeah, I know. Don't act like you're innocent. We all do it. I see your Instagram hours. It's too many. 3 is too much, Linda. Put the phone down. However, social media not only has the effect of making us doom scroll for what feels like an eternity, but it has the effect of showing us things and influencing us in ways that we may not notice. And sometimes causing panics that are unnecessary. Heard of social media anxiety? Don't think it's a thing? Believe me, it is.
Yeah.
And that is what we're going to uncover a little bit of here today. This is the Glass Floor podcast. This is the podcast where we talk about gender equalism and looking at things from both sides of male, female, and trying to find the in-between. And specifically about how sometimes we have different levels that people don't realize within a pyramid. But for now, I'm Katrina.
And I'm Tim.
This is a show that's sponsored by NCFM, the National Coalition for Men, which was founded in 1977. They're a nonpartisan, diverse, inclusive group which fights discrimination against boys, men, and the families that love them, and do amazing work. And this is our episode of social media, or social panic, whichever way you want to categorize it. So, for those of you who may or may not be big social media users, you'll know that there is a lot of difference between 2001 and today. I put that specific timeline because I was born in 2001, and when I was born, you had a 10 megabyte, very small laptop, and you had discs, and you had CDs, and you had DVDs, and some people still use tapes.
Yeah, and little floppy disks.
Yeah. And now we have the iPhone, the MacBook, we have the Android smartphone, we have a lot of technology. And on top of it, we have social media. Now, some people point out that there was MySpace, there was Vine, and there was Facebook at the beginning. Yes, that's true. We used to have MySpace and Vine. There was also a lot less you could do on MySpace and Vine. Vine was more so videos, and MySpace was customizing pages to make yourself look cooler, from what I understand. Millennials, don't come after me. It's not my fault you're old. But nowadays we have Snapchat, Instagram. Facebook's actually somewhat still popular in certain ways.
Yeah.
But the most recent thing is videos, Reels, TikTok. Ooh, how many hours do y'all spend on TikTok? Because I know there's a lot of you. There are TikTok stars now and influencers.
Yeah.
And what we don't keep in mind is that as cool as the D'Amelios look, probably saying their name wrong. I ain't on TikTok that much. Or James Charles or some of the others may look. There's an effect that watching that much content, all the things going on has. And it's not the greatest effect. And some of the content is actually really toxic. We have some examples that we're going to go through with you, as well as just general points. So to our first slide.
Yeah.
When I try to show my girlfriend who the man of the relationship is, but she genuinely beats my... we can fill in the blank.
Yeah.
I feel like I've cussed on this show before, but I'm gonna be careful about it. And we have Superman in the ground, in the snow specifically, very beat up.
Very beat up.
So
he spends a lot of time on the ground beat up, actually, in that movie.
Yeah, he does, really, now that you mention it. I'm like, thinking about it, I'm like, he does. That was not a great movie for Superman. He had a rough one. But to the point, the idea is that Superman is your man. Or for those of you that are the men, Superman is supposed to be you.
Yeah.
And this is you beat up from your own girlfriend. Now, I realize it is meant to be funny and, metaphorical in some ways and stuff, but it's the general context that we are allowing what is basically abuse? We're
Uh-huh.
saying, "Oh, yeah, it's funny that she beats me up." It's like, "No, we have a name for that in the law. It's called domestic violence." Um,
Yeah, and it's still violence even when it's against men, Right, let's be fair. Make a joke about it. We wouldn't make that same joke about a beat up woman, would we?
no. I mean, there are a few, but for the most part, you don't do that.
No.
But most of the posts are about, "Oh, my girlfriend beats my ass." It's like, you wouldn't say when girlfriend beats your ass or when boyfriend beats your ass because then all the women be like, "That's wrong. That's domestic violence. Call 911." Girls do it the same for that situation.
Yeah.
And so then we end up seeing this effect of all these girls are like, haha, it's so funny. That's okay to do. And it becomes normalized. And it really shouldn't.
Yeah, and it gets back to the where I always go with these things. Women more loved but less respected. Men more respected but less loved. And so with a lack of respect toward women, there's a lack of accountability, and
Mhm.
with a lack of love toward men, there's a lack of empathy for men who, in fact, have about an equal chance of being the victims of domestic violence.
Yeah. And the thing is, too, is the domestic violence, it's the way they go about relationships. How many of you get reels about relationships every single day on Instagram or TikTok? Because I'm going to tell you, that's me. I know it. But some of them, they're cute. They're like, "Oh, I hope God praises you today. Oh, you're my strong man. I support you." And there's some of them that are a little interesting. Like, if he don't do this, he ain't it. It's like, how many men do you know can afford to do that?
Yeah.
Or, it's like, "Oh, if he doesn't show these signs, he's not the one." Well, sometimes he is going through a rough patch. Okay, I hate to tell you, but the 50 plus years marriage of your grandparents wasn't built on following Instagram as your couple counselor. Um,
Yeah.
it was built on going through life together, choosing each other every day without the phone there. Okay, your grandma didn't go to the phone straight away every time your grandpa pissed her off and went, "Oh, yeah, I deserve better. This is what I deserve."
You
She
know,
would sit down, calm down, make herself a glass of wine.
yeah.
You definitely need that. And then after a while, go back to the room and go, "I forgive you. We are going to change things. We're going to get through this. And that's the only damn option you have." And then go to bed with him, and that would be it.
Yeah. Yana,
Mhm.
um, she's, a regular on our Sunday meetings. And she said something that I thought was really great. She said, in the past, men and women didn't really know what each other was thinking.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's all sprayed out there in the on the web.
He's thinking this, she's thinking
Yeah,
that.
exactly. And so it's like they're both sexes are getting so offended to find out what the other's maybe actually thinking, you see.
They're just like, "Hey, hey, 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 why are you thinking that?"
Yeah.
But to the point, and that's been affecting the relationships, which is the main bond between men and women.
Yeah.
It's the past relationships, they learned to respect the role of women, the women learned to love their men, and now it's like the women are demanding respect, but not in the right ways. And the
Yeah,
men are saying they deserve to be loved, which isn't wrong, but they're not going about the right way really either
that's
because they're
true.
making it a prerequisite. It's not a
Hmm.
prerequisite. You build that over time.
Yeah.
I know that sounds bad, but it's just a situation.
Yeah. Men more respected because they earned it. Women more loved because women earned it.
Hmm. Like, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not saying it shouldn't happen. These things should come naturally to us, but be realistic. When you come into the bar, are you going, "That's an educated woman," or are you going, "God damn, she's hot"?
Well, we know. We know. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when young.
Yeah. You're definitely not thinking of the respect
Yeah, I mean,
axis.
both sexes are really driven by their hormones and their instincts, especially when young. I mean, it's throughout life. There's that, but it's a matter of degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so That's the one point. The next point that I would like to go to, some of you might recognize these faces. I'm not gonna lie, I don't recognize most of them. That's because I'm not the biggest social media person. But you have all these different influencers, and some of them are amazing. Don't get me wrong. They say some good stuff. They're bringing up awareness. But there's some of them that because they influence you so much, I mean, to their title, influencers, they're influencing you. They're trying to show you a lifestyle, and you start trying to copy it because they're so popular
Yeah, and they're so cool.
and they're so cool. And they're maybe not always the best option. You're following their opinions, which may not be the opinions you should have. And honestly, you should be making your own opinions. But again, topic that we'll go into a whole nother time because that is a whole bag of worms. But it's some of them are just you follow them so much, and you're like, I want to make that my life. I want to do that. And that's great in some ways, but there are some things they may not do that you should be doing. And it's trying to find that difference.
Yeah.
And there's so many of them now. Now everyone wants to be an influencer. They want free stuff. They want whatever it is that comes with influencing.
Yeah.
But they don't really think of how much that really means because a lot of you are thinking about what gets me popular quickest to be an influencer.
Yeah, rather than digging into if I'm going to be an influencer, then
What are my morals? What are my
yeah,
values? What
right.
image am I trying to give? And some of them don't think about
What
that
are my
either.
responsibilities?
Yeah. They're more focused on the content, less focused on what it really should be.
Yeah, and they're just looking for content that will go viral, whether it's healthy or not, whether it's true or not,
Mm-hmm.
is less important than numbers.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
we're both moderators on various sites, and as we both know, these comments that we see, man, they're so bad,
aggressive.
so aggressive, immature. Uh, it's throwing insults at each other, throwing epithets at each other. Uh,
Derogatory terms.
yes,
Just throwing everything. Y'all really don't think when you post a comment. Not
right,
not all y'all, but some of you
yeah,
guys really, really had just like zero thought process clearly went into that comment.
yeah,
Just pure rage or pure emotion.
right.
And pure emotion only gets you ye far.
Yeah, it's important to take a deep breath and try and clear the charge before you answer someone, because it's so easy to lash out or all alone there or behind the computer and just you can type anything you want. It's anonymous; they can't get at you. So,
Mm-hmm.
it facilitates makes it easy for people to bring out the worst in themselves, right?
Yeah. And thing is too is then the standard some of these people put, you start panicking when you don't reach it because you think that's the standard it has to be. So now you're making bad comments, you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that. You're not thinking about your comments, and you end up being the people who end up in our comment section sometimes. Not just ours, other areas that we moderate too. And it's just all over the place.
Yeah.
You're not living for yourself. And that's where the third kind of social media panic comes in. Some of you might know him well. Before you start accusing me of knowing him, I have listened to almost nothing. I watched one video, lasted about 2 seconds, turn that off. I just can't. I can't. Lord help.
Yeah.
But it's the people who go, look, here's the mess from the influencer part. Because you've expected this, but you also try to protect them, but you also say these comments on beliefs that you haven't figured out yourself. I'm going to tell you straighten up your life by telling you this is the way things need to be.
Yeah.
Look at me. I'm doing great. So this is how things should be. So here's how straight your life should be.
Yeah.
So then you're like, okay, great. Disciplined path. That disciplined path may not be as great as it looks.
Yeah. 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 And one point I would make about him is he's taken awfully seriously. I'd compare him basically to like a Roseanne Barr. Neither one of them is really much of an intellect, and they're both about equally obnoxious, and they both have about equally negative opinions about their opposite sex, and and they both influence in their way. Uh, and but he's taken so much more seriously and condemned so much more.
Hmm.
Oh, Andrew, our producers looking at me. That's Andrew Tate,
Yeah.
if you
For
didn't
those of
know.
you who don't know. It's like, for people who don't know about Andrew Tate, it's like, well, it's sort of hard to feel like nobody knows about him because, Lord, this man manages to get himself in the news in other places.
Yeah. Yep.
For those of you who don't get it, this is the man who's like, you have to be the alpha male.
Yeah.
And practically advertises that as a lifestyle and goes about all the things you have to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's very impressive to young boys, especially if they're in school and their experience is that women rule,
Mm-hmm.
that women have all the voice, that there's feminism on the one hand, and on the other hand, there's a little like nothing. And so then comes Andrew Tate, and he can be very impressive to a young man because he owns his extreme masculinity with pride. He doesn't apologize for it. He looks tough guy. He looks cool, and so yeah, the boys go, wow, he's really impressive. But it's always shared responsibility between men and women. Yeah, we're responsible for spawning this kind of guy, and the feminine is responsible for creating a cultural environment within which a guy like that thrives,
Yeah.
or so.
Or he even exists. Because we wouldn't be this far if it weren't for toxic reverse cultures on the other side as well. So, to the point, now we've entered your discipline. So now you're not panicking anymore because you're with this guy. And then when you find out this guy ain't great, or whichever other guy you want to follow is supposed to make you a disciplined life, now you're panicked again. And all this, you've been socially anxious that you're not keeping up with whatever the image is, both on the female side, on the male side, and you've ruined whatever relationship you can have with the other side because you think it needs to lead up to something. And that is why we say it is a social panic.
Yeah,
Because every
big
part of your
social panic around this guy.
yeah, huge social panic around him. Red alarms.
Yeah,
If you fire truck
yeah,
behind him
no.
trying to put out the fire, like. So you really have to consider what kind of social media you're intaking and how well are you really filtering it. Are you falling into him, or are you falling into the D'Amelios? Who are you falling into that you don't realize? Not that the D'Amelios are
The
bad.
Kardashians.
The Kardashians. That might have been a better example. My bad. But you get the point. Are you falling into the Kardashian body craze? Or are you filtering this well and still finding a way to look out, look at different sides, make your own opinions, hopefully not make dumb comments, and not panic? Because a lot of anxiety is starting to come from social media. And it's starting to come from people who do not know what to expect anymore, who are going to social media as their therapist, which social media is not licensed. I'll tell you that right now. They have no license for therapy.
No.
If Instagram pulls one up, I'm gonna laugh. And comment, they're like, here's our therapist, our therapy license. You don't have one. They are not your therapist. They are not the places to guide you in life. The places to guide you in life is you, frankly, gotta look for real life mentors.
Yeah.
And figure out where your interests are and go on that path. That's just how it works. Social media should be a place for posting. It should be a place sometimes for awareness for these kind of things, but it is not your guide dog.
Oh.
So I said, put down the phone. Kate, I know you hear me. Yennefer, you too. Put it down. Take some time to yourself. Go outside, touch grass.
Yep.
Because I know some of y'all haven't seen the sun in a couple days or anything. And figure yourselves out. Look out. And take a
There you
deep
go.
breath and try not to panic. So with that, this has been The Glass Floor. We hope you've enjoyed this episode. See you next episode. Like and subscribe.
Bye now.
Oh, and comment below.
Comment.
Yeah. Or tear us down, whichever way.
Yep.